Hey friends, this is Daryl, KD4GE. I just want to show the latest power box that I built. I just completed this one here. And this is my design, but the whole idea for these power boxes is not mine. The first box I built was just a metal 50 caliber ammo can, and it had a voltmeter on the side with a USB and a 12 volt power point, and that was pretty much all. But that box was real heavy. It had a sealed lead acid battery in it, and I think the whole box weighed about 37 pounds, so it was quite a chore to lift that box and carry it around. I got turned on to these lithium ion phosphate LiPo 4 batteries, they call them lithium batteries, and they're much lighter. The battery in this box I think is 3.3 pounds. And but I want to give a shout out to Jeremy at Icehole Power, and also JDS Outdoors. I looked at a lot of their videos and just sort of built what was best for me. Now this is the box that I built prior to building this one. I built this box. I think it's a MCM case box. This is what Jeremy uses at Icehole Power for his boxes. In fact, this is pretty much Jeremy's kit. If you buy one from Icehole Power, you can get the USB, the 12 volt power point, and the voltmeter. And see, they're all in this nice little template right here. I've got the terminal points here, and I've got a switch on each one that I can turn each one on and off, and it's got the lights out on the end of the box as well, the LED lights, and they're very bright. But the problem with this box is it's a little bit short, meaning not quite tall enough for what I wanted to do. I've got a 28 watt solar panel that I got from BioEnno, and by the way, I'm using BioEnno batteries in both of these boxes. This box has a 12 volt 20 amp hour, no, I'm sorry, 12 volt 12 amp hour. This box has a 12 volt 20 amp hour battery in it. It is just a little bit bigger and slightly heavier, but not much. Like I said, I think this battery weighs 3.3 pounds in that box right there. But what I wanted to do is, I've got one of the 28 watt solar panels, and I wanted to be able to store my solar panel inside the box so that I've got everything right in here, right ready to go whenever I get ready to go. So I found this box at Cabela's, and it's got Cabela's written on the side down here. If you go to Cabela's, you can get these, and I just had this little plate made up with my call sign and my phone number on it, in case I leave it somewhere, or just to otherwise identify my box. And I covered up down there where it had Cabela's written on the box. But these boxes are cheap. I think they're like $9.99, $10 for one of these boxes. And there you can see the size of the battery. I mean, it's barely as wide as my 4 fingers. I've got a solar charge controller here, and I've got a 300 watt inverter here in case I want to go AC, and I can store my inverter and my AC charger here. My solar control there's plenty of room inside the box here to store all of this stuff. And I'll try to get over here and get a shot of my wiring. I thought my wiring turned out pretty good. I did a little nicer job on the wiring than I did on my last box. And of course you'll see that it's fused. And let me close the lid back and I'll show you what we've got here. Okay, so I wanted to try to fit everything on top of my box, but I did not want it to be cluttered. So what I ended up with is I put my LED lights down on this end of the box, and I've got a switch here that turns my LEDs off and on. This switch here turns on all of this and makes all of this hot. You see my voltmeter there, and this voltmeter is the type that's got USBs. This voltmeter came from PowerWorks. I'll see if I can get close enough. You can see PowerWorks, Power, W-E-R-X, PowerWorks, in case you want to get one of those. So I've got two 12-volt connectors here. I've got the USB here. They're both 2.1 amp. And then here I put Anderson power poles, and I've got these terminal lugs here. And what I did is I wired these and this with a 12 gauge wire so that I can run a 100 watt HF rig ham radio. If I want to run the full 100 watts, I can, and it won't be a strain on the wire size. Now for these, I did go with a smaller gauge wire because you don't need it for just USB. It's not going to draw that much current through it. So I had a little call sign nameplate fit down in this little indention area right here, and the box is very lightweight. I think it's my favorite box so far. So with that, I see I'm a little over 6 minutes. I'll go ahead and shut this off, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.